Wait, you know what? The one thing I do want to do, I want to look more into Grace's mom's story. A horror to study too.
Resident Evil Requiem is right around the corner, and with it comes a character most people weren't expecting.
She's locked in, yeah.
In the mainline Resident Evil game. Not Claire, not Jill, not Chris, but Grace Ashcroft.
What was... What kind of editing was that?
An FBI technical analyst whose story is directly tied to the death of her mother.
Oh, God.
That mother is Alyssa Ashcroft. And if that name doesn't ring a bell, it's not really your fault, because Alyssa comes from Resident Evil Outbreak and Outbreak File 2. Two games most people either never played or tried once and then quietly moved on from. They were multiplayer survival horror games on the PlayStation 2. They were clunky, they were punishing, and they absolutely did not explain themselves, which is exactly why
it came
now. Because while Outbreak was never about saving the world, it was about the people who survived long enough to live with the consequences.
Oh.
And Alyssa Ashcroft is now one of the most important survivors Capcom introduced.
Yes.
And left in the background for decades. So in this video, we're going to cover everything you actually
From Bradley
need to
didn't release
know
a virus,
about
Leon would
Resident
not
Evil
be a
Outbreak
goober and he
Alyssa
would be welcome to
Ashcroft
Raccoon
before
City
Requiem
movie.
comes out.
True.
We'll move really quickly through the events of both Outbreak games.
He would just be a police officer.
Because the AI teammates already wasted enough of everyone's
What the
time.
hell?
Then we'll focus on what really matters. Who Alyssa Ashcroft was before the outbreak. What she uncovered in the Arklay Mountains years before.
And that's
Raccoon
his,
City collapsed.
her old
What happened
class.
after the
I just want to
Raccoon City
like get
incident,
different
and
perspectives for
finally
people to
her
tell me,
tragic
so it
death
just
following
sticks
her
better, you
investigation
know?
at Renwood
Because some
Hotel.
people would say things differently and then I'll be like, oh, you know, and then it clicks better. It's like when people use different analogies and then I'm just like, oh, that makes sense, you know? That's me right now. It's like describing a storage of a computer like a refrigerator, you know?
Requiem isn't
It makes sense in my
pulling Alyssa
head.
out of nowhere. It's finishing
Daughter,
a story
mother.
that started long before zombies ever hit the streets. Really quick, I just want to say, if you do end up
Outbreak
enjoying
is
the
janky,
video,
but it's still a
please
good
consider
game.
subbing to the channel. As a new channel, it really does help it grow. It's
Huge.
free and keeps the Resident Evil
True,
content flowing.
it is free.
Now, without further ado, let's start at the beginning.
Are we supposed to know him?
Alyssa Ashcroft was born in the 1970s and spent her early life growing up in Raccoon City. If you were expecting Alyssa to grow up into a soldier, a scientist, or someone with a resume that screams future,
Oh my god, not the kicking.
you're going to be disappointed. She became a reporter. More specifically, an investigative reporter, which already tells you almost everything you need to know about her priorities.
I feel like
She
you
didn't
should have
choose
taken more
journalism
time
for
with
the
the
money,
releasing it.
nor the
Hopefully
fame,
they'll
and
remaster
definitely
that
not
one
for
one
the
day. I bet they
benefits.
would.
She chose it because she had an instinct for finding trouble. And in Raccoon City, trouble was basically a weekday.
Hey.
Alyssa didn't chase feel-good stories or ribbon-cutting ceremonies. She went after corruption, corporate misconduct, and situations where the official explanation sounded just a little too confident. And in a city where Umbrella was one of the biggest employers, that instinct put her in uncomfortable territory almost immediately.
Damn.
Alyssa Ashcroft's first documented investigation dates back to 1993, long before Raccoon City collapsed.
Right.
And long before
'Cause it was
zombies
1998.
were an accepted workplace hazard. At the time, Alyssa was working alongside a fellow journalist named Kurt, and the two were chasing what initially sounded like another rumor that would probably go nowhere. The kind of story that starts with vague complaints, nervous sources, and people insisting that everything is perfectly legal. The rumor centered around a remote hospital in the Arklay Mountains where something didn't feel right. Patients were being treated off the books, records didn't line up, and certain outcomes were happening far too often for comfort. As it turns out, Alyssa and Kurt weren't imagining things. Unbeknownst to them, the hospital's director, who I kid you not, the one, the only, his name is Albert Lester, had begun accepting bribes from an Umbrella researcher named Greg Mueller. In
What is this editing?
exchange, Lester allowed Mueller to illegally test an experimental virus on terminal cancer
That's right.
patients,
Hopefully they don't
quietly,
take out Cindy's
discreetly,
bunny
and
costume.
without oversight. And this
That's
wasn't
right.
just professional corruption.
Man, it's
It was
crazy.
personal.
People just want money. Well, I guess his case, you wanted personal reasons, but still, money.
Lester's wife, Dorothy, was terminally ill and receiving treatment at that very hospital. Out of desperation, Lester agreed to the trials and allowed his wife to be injected with the experimental virus,
Jesus.
hoping it would do what conventional medicine couldn't. At first, it looked like a miracle.
Poor
Dorothy,
guy.
along with several other patients, appeared
That's
to recover.
depressing.
Symptoms vanished. The treatments worked. For a brief moment, it seemed like Umbrella had achieved the impossible. And then reality caught up. One by one, the patients began to die. Dorothy didn't die. She changed. She mutated uncontrollably, losing her humanity and becoming something far more dangerous. Chaos broke out inside the hospital,
Oh,
and whatever had
no.
been quietly hidden behind paperwork and bribes suddenly became impossible to ignore. That's when Alyssa and Kurt were brought in to investigate, completely unaware of what they were walking into. Almost immediately after entering the hospital, Dorothy attacked. She grabbed Kurt and killed him on the spot, infecting him in the process, right in front of Alyssa. There was no warning, no buildup, and no time to process what was happening. Just sudden violence and the realization that this story had crossed into something much worse. Alyssa
Poor
tried
Kurt.
to
Can
flee
we
the hospital.
pour one out for
She
Kurt?
didn't make it far. She was captured by Greg Mueller, who understood exactly how dangerous a living witness could be.
Oh no.
Instead of killing her, which would raise questions, Umbrella chose a quieter solution. Alyssa was subjected to a procedure designed to suppress her memories of the incident. Not erase them completely, not rewrite them, just bury them deep enough that she couldn't expose what she'd seen. The hospital.
Okay. Oh, that's really sad. Okay. I was like wondering, like, maybe I just didn't catch on, like, why her memories were suppressed. But damn, she had trauma. Man, that's sad.
Hospital incident was covered up. The deaths were explained away, and Alyssa Ashcroft walked out alive, with no clear memory of why the case had ended so abruptly. Umbrella didn't silence her voice, they silenced her past, and for years Alyssa continued her career without realizing how close she'd come to uncovering something that would eventually consume an entire city. After surviving the Arklay hospital incident and losing both her partner and her memory of what actually happened, Alyssa Ashcroft did what Umbrella likely assumed she wouldn't. She kept working. For years, Alyssa continued her career in journalism, moving from case to case, following stories that sat just outside the public eye.
I see.
Eventually,
Okay.
her work led her back to the Arklay Mountains. Alyssa wrote an article reporting on the discovery of a man's body.
1996, so 2 years before.
That on paper looked
on Halloween. Body washes up to the shore of Amy's. Ashley Ashcroft, staff reporter. The body was unidentified. A white male has been found in Amis River in the northwest Arklay. At least half a year has passed since the man died, so the body has been impossible to identify. Powerful steroids along with other drugs were found in the body, and police are suspecting foul play. The river has long been used for local pharmaceutical companies as dumping grounds, and links to illegal activities in connection to that has not been ruled out.
On paper looked isolated, unfortunate, but ordinary. The kind of thing that just gets filed away and forgotten. In reality, it wasn't ordinary at all. The killing was the work of Albert, not you, Lester, the former hospital director who had completely unraveled after the death of his wife.
Oh, so that's what he looks like. Oh, okay.
To protect, Lester retreated into the mountains and began roaming the area like something out of a low-budget true crime documentary.
Bro,
Only this wasn't fiction. Lester had become a serial killer, attacking and murdering anyone who wandered too close. Without realizing it, Alyssa had once again put herself directly in his path. This is exactly where Resident Evil Outbreak File 2 picks up her story, forcing Alyssa back into the fallout of a case she was never supposed to remember, and into the orbit of a man who embodied everything Umbrella tried to bury.
Did they show his face later on?
This brings us to the Raccoon City outbreak, where the events of Resident Evil Outbreak and Outbreak File 2 take place.
Okay.
I'm going to move through these very quickly because the exact events are messy, the timeline is questionable, and the canon changes depending on who you ask.
Thank you so much for the 100 biddies, Jules. I appreciate that.
This is for people who
Happy belated celebratory for the half marathon. Thank you, Jules.
Also important.
Well, thank
Alyssa,
you.
as well as all the other
Appreciate
survivors, are infected this entire time. No pressure. We start with Alyssa at Jay's bar, sitting on a laptop, presumably working on a news report like nothing bad has ever happened in Raccoon City before. Zombies immediately crash through the door. Our heroes flee. They meet some RPD officers. Everything goes badly.
Oh no.
Alyssa fixes a detonator, blows up a massive group of zombies.
Holy shit!
And journals her thoughts and feelings like this was all just a rough work day. Boom. Done. Next, Alyssa somehow ends up in Umbrella's underground lab, because of course she does.
Right.
Evil Umbrella researcher is trying to escape with a freaky G-virus baby that looks like a rejected Alien sequel. Alyssa kills a suspicious plant and watches this cutscene, and then sees the baby go full face hugger on Evil Umbrella researcher and turn into a giant G-monster. She defeats it by ramming a cart into it.
I need a moment. I need a moment. Oh my god.
And escapes. Journalism wins again.
Journalism!
General Hospital, where nothing especially happens except a leech monster trying to kill everyone. They fight through the hospital, kill suspicious monster number 2, really Capcom, and escape through the sewers. Alyssa notes that she
This YouTuber's great.
which feels optimistic given the circumstances. Next is the Apple Inn, which catches fire. They run. They kill suspicious monster number 3.
Bruh.
They escape. The final scenario of File 1 takes place at the Raccoon University, where Greg Mueller, the one who suppressed Alyssa's memories, returns.
Someone's
Creates an
streaming it.
experimental
They're gonna get
tyrant
copyrighted.
where he would be described as a speedo and accidentally becomes the least serious threat in the room. Alyssa finds an antivirus.
They're gonna get
called
nuked
Daylight,
in
confronts Mueller, watches him get killed by Nikolai Zinoviev from Resident Evil 3.
Bro!
Cures herself.
What? Okay, he just dies like that?
Antivirus called Daylight synthesizes it, confronts Mueller, watches him get killed by Nikolai Zinoviev from Resident Evil 3.
Bro.
Cures herself, kills the Speedo Tyrant, and escapes the
Speedo
city by
Tyrant.
helicopter. There are multiple endings to this scenario, but I'm choosing this one as the canon.
Okay.
Infected, not infected, helicopter, explosion, pick one. File 2 adds 5 more scenarios
Oh
because
my
Alyssa
God.
apparently didn't suffer enough. First is the Raccoon City Zoo, where she fights infected animals including an elephant, toucans, lions, and whatever else wandered into the budget. They escape by tram. Next is a subway station. Anyone getting Silent Hill 4 vibes? Which is mostly finding emblems, restoring power, and being attacked by a giant flea.
Of course.
They kill it and escape by
Right. Okay.
tram. Alyssa again mentions she'll do anything
Bro,
for escape,
come on,
which
Capcom
feels
came
like
out and
cries
said
for help at this point.
I bet they would.
Then we get the important one. Alyssa finds herself in a cabin in the Arklay Mountains and meets Lester, the hospital director from her first case.
Right.
Her memory is still suppressed, so she has no idea who he is. He leads them back to the hospital to feed them to a giant plant creature he believes is his wife, Dorothy. This is where Alyssa's memories start coming back. She remembers Kurt. She remembers the case. She remembers
And that's
Umbrella.
when she gets it.
Albert
Okay.
goes full serial killer mode. Alyssa kills the plant. Albert and Dorothy both die Lannister style. Everyone escapes the collapsing hospital. Next, there's a scenario at the RPD station that fills in details about Marvin. This is the officer that Claire
Hey!
and Neil
Yeah.
You survive until help arrives. Leave Marvin behind, injured, and his story picks up in Resident Evil 2.
Right. That's what I remember.
Finally, there's an Umbrella development facility where good Umbrella researcher and not very intelligent Umbrella researcher try to control a tyrant. The tyrant helps for about 5 minutes and then goes full Incredibles, killing the guy holding the remote. Classic Umbrella. You run, fight another giant BOW, the city gets bombed again, and Alyssa survives the Raccoon City outbreak again.
Oh my god. Okay, so I'm very grateful for him for breaking down this entire timeline. This video is a blessing right now because I feel like I wouldn't even be able to catch on any of this. So I'm very grateful I'm watching these until maybe they'll come out with a remake, maybe, possibly. It would be really nice to see a remake of this and get to see her. I mean, because you can see her character. Her character design looks fabulous now than it did. In this scenario, I think graphics have been coming a long way, so I'm really excited.
Honestly, none of that is important.
Okay.
The only thing you really need to know is this: Alyssa Ashcroft survives Raccoon City.
Yes.
How she escaped doesn't
She
matter.
survived.
Which ending you saw doesn't matter. Which monsters she kills doesn't matter.
Right.
She lived. And that survival leads directly to everything that comes next.
Got it.
Which brings us to the aftermath.
I like her hairstyle.
In the aftermath of Raccoon City,
Right,
Alyssa
after it got
Ashcroft
nuked.
did what she always did best. She wrote about it. Alyssa published an expose condemning the Umbrella Corporation titled "What is a BOW?" blowing the lid off this horrifying secret project.
I agree.
Subtle title, very low key. In the article,
Wait, what was the title again? Hold on.
Project.
Orchestral samples included in this recording from the Vienna Symphonic Library.
Title, very low key.
Very low key.
In the article, Alyssa detailed her experiences during the outbreak and openly accused Umbrella of developing and deploying bioorganic weapons, or BOWs, effectively putting into writing what the US government very much did not want written down. The article gained attention, the public started asking questions,
Right.
and the US government found itself in a rapidly forming legal conflict with Umbrella over the destruction of Raccoon City during
Right.
the sterilization operation.
I mean, if you think about it, I think a lot of people will ask me lots of questions on why a freaking city got blown up by a nuke, right?
This eventually snowballed into what became known as the Raccoon Trials, a massive years-long legal battle centered on Umbrella's responsibility for the outbreak and the annihilation of the city. That said, the situation was complicated. At the same time these trials were forming, the US government was also publicly denying the existence of BOWs
Bro.
altogether. Largely
Filthy
to avoid
casual,
answering
thank you so much for the
questions
follow.
about how much it knew and when it knew it. So Alyssa's article, despite being written by an actual survivor with first-hand experience, was
Go to a movie theater on
increasingly
Friday and
treated
dress up as Ghostface.
sensational,
Ooh, have
exaggerated, or outright
fun.
conspiratorial. For years, public opinions on BOWs hovered in an awkward gray area, somewhere between reality and urban legend.
Professor X?
Even after later bioterror incidents, including the Terra Grigia panic, Alyssa's reporting and the testimony of other Raccoon City survivors was still often dismissed as paranoia or misinformation by the
Bro.
general public, which is impressive, considering the entire city no longer existed.
Right.
During this period,
Right.
Alyssa continued pushing to expose corruption where she could, and also found time to raise a daughter, Grace Ashcroft, who would eventually pursue a career in federal
I'm assuming that we don't know anything about the Faja. Or maybe she was adopted. Who's to say? I mean, they literally look the same.
law enforcement, which in hindsight feels less like a coincidence and more like destiny quietly lining things up for what comes next.
She's so pretty. The
And this is where
Faja.
Alyssa quietly shows up again, in a place most people never thought to look. If you played Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, there's a very good chance you completely missed this.
What?
Because it's not a cutscene, it's not highlighted, and it's definitely not treated like a big deal. In 2016, an article appears in the Dulvey Daily, a small local newspaper outside of Dulvey Parish, discussing a string of mysterious
Bro, why would they do this? Man, people that literally are like suckled into the Resident Evil series would actually notice shit like this, man. Captain Howell from the state police told reporters from the stated a search of Helen Midkiff, a college student from North Carolina, was traveling to Louisiana. Miss Midkiff hasn't been heard of since the night of the 21st. Reports of missing persons in South Louisiana have increased dramatically the past 2 years. And these are all the people that got kidnapped from this household in Biohazard.
Disappearances that had been happening in the area over the previous 2.
The majority of the missing are tourists and vagrants. Okay. At least 20 people have thought to have been gone missing so far. Police suspect foul play and believe that there will be a connection between the incidents. Plans are in place and steps up local interrogations and increase personnel to further the investigation. Alyssa Ashcroft. Oh my God.
Years.
Alyssa.
Nothing flashy.
What
no
the hell?
Monsters mentioned. No biohazards confirmed. Just people vanishing. This, of course, is tied to the Baker family incident. And if you stop and actually read the byline, there's a moment where it clicks. Guess who wrote it? Alyssa Ashcroft. Decades after Raccoon City, Alyssa was still doing the exact same thing, documenting strange patterns, following disappearances, and writing about incidents that didn't have official explanations.
Brother.
That Dulvey article ends up being one of the only public records acknowledging that something went wrong there at all. It's the lone breadcrumb suggesting a biological disaster took place long before Ethan Winters ever set foot on the Baker property. And just like Raccoon City, it didn't last. The region was quickly quarantined, the situation was covered up, the investigation stopped. The missing people Alyssa wrote about were never officially acknowledged, and
Oh my
notably,
God.
they weren't even listed among the dead. No answers.
Resident Evil, I'm a nerd. You're a nerd. Nerd.
Got too close to the truth to put it on paper and watched it quietly disappear away. And that brings us to Resident Evil Requiem and Alyssa Ashcroft's last documented investigation.
Wow.
In 2018, Alyssa was murdered while investigating the Wrenwood Hotel. After decades of outbreaks, cover-ups, quarantines, and articles quietly disappearing from the public record, this was the case she didn't walk away from.
Wow.
8 years later, her daughter Grace Ashcroft, now an FBI technical analyst, picks up where her mother left off, determined to uncover what really happened. Which means Resident Evil Requiem isn't just a new outbreak, it's the fallout of one journalist who survived Raccoon City, kept asking questions anyway, and finally paid the price for it. And that's why Alyssa Ashcroft and Resident Evil Outbreak matter now more than ever.
Wow.
You now know everything there is to know about Alyssa Ashcroft. You've seen where she started, what she's been through, and unfortunately how her story ends.
Man.
You're caught up. As Resident Evil Requiem approaches, a lot of questions arise. What exactly happened in that hotel?
I guess we'll find out, right?
And how will her daughter handle the horrors to come? Only a month until we find out. Thanks for watching. If this helped you get caught up on Alyssa Ashcroft before Resident Evil Requiem, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more horror content.
Horror to study too. It really helped me out. I also pre-ordered too. I have it on my PlayStation. Honestly, chat, I feel as though I am ready. I understand Leon. I played Resident Evil 2, 4, and now 6. And I studied Alyssa Ashcroft. And I played a bit of Biohazard. I feel as though I am ready.